Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Trinity Health System Field for today's non-conference matchup between the visiting Muskingum Fighting Muskies and your Franciscan Barons! And everyone, please rise for an open prayer, followed by a national anthem. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Blessed and good and glorious God, we give you all the praise, all the thanks, all the honor for this day. Lord, I thank you so much for this beautiful opportunity that we get to celebrate, that we get to play, that we get to compete. Lord, allow us to glorify you in everything that we do. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Welcome everyone to Franciscan University Lacrosse. Today we have the visiting Muskingum Fighting Muskies and your Franciscan University Barons. Starting for the Muskies today, Austin Stobbs, Spencer Zucchini, Liam Manning, Blake Toronto, Chase Kessler, Evan Cosgrove, Grant Webster, Drew Schneider, Evan Schouler with Trevor Connolly in goal. For the Barons, Luke Reimer, Joseph James, Alex Alman, Jack Nelson, Joffrey Strandhagen, Sam Smith, Gavin Cook, Dominic Moralia, James Masso, Joseph Redmond, with Richard Vale II in goal.
Midfielder, number 22, Gavin Cook. Defender, number 24, Dominic Moralia. Midfielder, number 25, James Lowe. Long stick man, number 35, Luke Reimer. And defender, number 40, Joseph Redmond. The Barons are head coached by Pete Versace, who is assisted by Austin the son, Connor Smith, and Father Rufino Corona.
Boys touch gloves, and we are set to go. Richard Vale leading the Barons from the left side of the field. Trevor Connolly and Muskingum defending on the right. Drew Schneider's taking the face-off for Muskingum, and Joffrey Strandhagen, per usual, will face off starting here for the Barons. Face off, there it is. Picked up by Schneider. And Muskingum is moving the ball well down into the box. Passing the ball, they'll settle behind the goal. Number 17 dodges down the alley. Picked up by Dom Moralia and covered well. Ball swung back up top. Number 29 dodges down. Moralia is there again. Moralia is flying over the field on defense. He is covering all over the field right now. And now a cost turnover. Sam Smith ends up with it. Vale behind the goal. He'll give it to Redmond. And Redmond goes back to Vale. He walks it up. And over the middle. Oh, strip. He loses the ball. And Muskingum will pick it up. And they have a fast break. Number 25, Grant Webster from Muskingum, behind the goal with the ball. He's going to wait for them to settle before moving it up top. Webster with it again behind the goal. He'll pass to Evan Cosgrove. '29. A shot on goal, blocked, and will go out of bounds. Muskingum ball. Take it in, dodge down the alley. He beats Lacey, but Sam Smith is there to help. A shot and a save by Richard Vale. And Muskingum will end up with the ground ball. Muskingum working the shorties. Another shot, and this time it is a goal. Number 9, Blake Toronto, scores first for Muskingum, and they now have a 1-0 lead over the Barons. Strandhagen coming out again for Franciscan to take the face-off with Drew Schneider as they face off once again here for the second time. Strandhagen wins it cleanly, and that pass is dropped by Moralia, but they'll settle it down and get it behind the goal to Richard Vale. Jack Nelson tries to get it across midfield, and the Barons will fail to clear, with Muskingum bringing the ball down with Grant Webster. Webster goes behind the goal, passes out. Muskingum looking to shoot a deep shot, and it'll go wide of the net. Actually, the referee is saying that that's a save. So Richard will get credit for what should be his second save of the game. Dodge down the alley. Pass to the middle. Another shot and a goal from Muskingum. This one by number 1, Hunter McGuire. And the Fighting Muskies now lead the Barons 2-0 with 11:28 left in the first quarter. Luke Reimer and Joe James on the wings for Franciscan for this faceoff, with Strandhagen once again taking it. Faceoff is won by Schneider, and he'll take it all the way down into the box before passing off. And that's another goal. Tic-tac-toe in a very quick series. Muskingum now leads 3-0. Now John Tedeschi on the wing instead of Reimer. Strandhagen and Schneider again face off. Joffrey wins, but Schneider has the ground ball, and Schneider will take it down. He shoots, and that shot is blocked, I think, by Joseph Redmond, and it will go out of bounds. Muskingum possession. Webster taking it in for the Muskies behind the goal. And Muskingum will swing it up top. Franciscan settling down into a man D. Dodge down the alley. Shot, and that will go wide of the net. Muskingum has to chase. Webster from behind the goal again. Covered by Joe Redmond. He'll pass, and his pass is caught, but not good enough for a shot. A wild shot that goes high of the net, and that one will still be close enough for the chase. So Muskingum will have the ball again. Webster from behind the goal, defended by Redmond. He'll dodge. He curls around and takes a shot. Save made by Richard Vale. He loses the ball. And that will be an uncaused... Oh, I was going to say an uncaused turnover by Richard Vale, and it is. Muskingum, they have a shot. Richard makes the save. What a save from Richard Vale. Looking to clear. He's holding the ball, and now he'll start walking it up. And he'll pass, deep pass, and he has Gavin Cook, the senior, who just recently scored his 100th point. Joe James now with the ball. And he'll pass down to Nate Carter, and they get behind to Masso. Masso goes back to Carter. Carter looking, he'll dodge, and he'll go to X behind the goal. A pass intended for Gavin Cook will get intercepted, but then picked up by Alex Alman, the sophomore out of Idaho. Joe James, the freshman, now with the ball, and he's been sensational this season, for the first 2 games at least. That shot will be wide, and it will be chased by Nate Carter. So Franciscan will retain possession. Carter from behind the goal. Settles, passes. He has number 13, Joseph Norton, but that pass will go awry, and so Muskingum will now bring it up, trying to clear. And they'll carry it across midfield. with a fast break opportunity. The pass is there. The shot is there. The goal is not. It goes wide. Number 25 for Muskingum, Grant Webster, again has the chase. And so Muskingum will now try to attack again from behind the goal. Muskingum settling as they get their sixth man in for attack. And now they move the ball from the top. A dodge to the middle. Number 17 has a shot, and it's a bounce shot, and it is high of the goal. Richard Vale didn't get a chance to touch that one. Another shot, and that one is buried. It's number 22, I believe. Number 22, indeed, with the goal. And Muskingum now up 4-0 over Franciscan with 7:58 left in the first quarter. Reimer again on the wing. And they'll call a violation on Muskingum. It'll be Franciscan ball with Luke Saarinen taking the ball from midfield. Gives it to Nate Carter. And the Barons are ready to go. Masso from behind the goal. He will dodge. He will shoot. And that ball will miss and go behind the net. The chase is awarded to Franciscan. And Alex Almond will take it from behind the goal. He dodges. He beats his man. The pass gets knocked down. And it'll eventually be got by Nate Carter, who gets it to Gavin Cook. Joe James now dodging from the right wing. He winds up and takes a shot that goes off. And the chase is given to Franciscan. James Masso just getting ahead of the Muskingum defender to get that one. He'll take it from the back. Alex Almond on the left wing moves it up top to Nate Carter. Carter dodges, passes. Almond drops the pass, and that one will go out of bounds for a turnover. Muskingum now trying to clear, and they will move it back behind. Mishandled by the pole, but he'll eventually get control of it. And Muskingum will clear. Moving the ball down to the side. Now moving it up top. That's with number 13. And now back to Webster at X. Webster looking to pass, and he will pass. Moving the ball up top, Muskingum now dodging from the left. It's number 13. He'll beat his man. Fake the pass, take a shot, and that shot goes wide of the goal. Muskingum has the chase, and Webster will bring it in for Muskingum from the right side. Cosgrove with a shot, and he will score. Muskingum now up 5-0 with 5:42 left in the first quarter. And now a timeout called by Franciscan. That'll be their first of the game. Strandhagen takes the face-off again for Franciscan. And this one is won by Muskingum, picked up by number 36, Jacob McDermott. Number 34 dodges. He finds space and then gives it back to Webster. Grant Webster passes it out to the left side. Evan Cosgrove looking to dodge. He'll dodge high side, and he will be met by number 14. What a shot. Cosgrove buries one from 12 yards out, and that will be a goal for Muskingum, their 6th of the game, less than a minute after they scored their last one. Joffrey got trapped back on defense for that set. He didn't get a chance to sub off. Nate Carter now on the wing for Franciscan, looking to take this. Strandhagen faces off, and Muskingum will again win the face-off. Moving the ball. They'll try to get it down into the box. Cosgrove from the wing. And they'll move it down to Webster behind X. Webster back to Cosgrove. Across to Cosgrove again. He looks and then moves it up top. Shot and a goal by number 77, Jack Watts. Muskingum now up 7-0. And Franciscan has been in man defense this whole time. Watts had the space to take a shot, and he stepped down and made the most of it. Joseph Norton now coming to the near side for the Barons on the wing. John Tedeschi on the far. Joffrey Strandhagen again taking the face off. This time he's facing off with number 49. And 49 wins and gets the ball down. Webster now on the wing, and he'll move back to X, leaving Cosgrove alone on the left. Spencer Zucchini now with the ball. Moving to the side, he'll pass it back to Webster. .22 dodges, and he gets laid out. A flag will be thrown, and it looks like Franciscan's Dom Moralia will be going to the box. Moralia going to the box for roughness for 30 seconds. And so for the next 30 seconds, Muskingum will be man up. Luke Schaubel now coming in for Franciscan. Jack Watts on the wing. He'll pass up top. Zucchini from up top. Moves it across to Watts. Watts makes one more pass. Webster turns and shoots, and that one will go wide of the goal. Muskingum with the chase and the possession. Hunter McGuire takes it in from behind. Drew Davis now on the side. Zucchini, Jack Watts. A shot that hits the outside of the net from Webster. Schaubel has the ground ball, and he gives it to his goalie, Richard Vale. Franciscan is back to even with the man up killed. Vale passes, and he'll get it all the way down into the offensive zone to Gavin Cook. Joe Norton now passes to Joe James, the sensational freshman. And he'll pass it off, and the Barons will settle here on offense. That's number 9, Alex Alm, dodging from the top. Cutting across the field is Norton, but that pass is dropped. Franciscan will have to resettle with Gavin Cook. Cook takes a dodge and backs out. He'll pass down to the wing to Joe James, who cuts topside, shoots, and he scores. On the run, Joe James from 10 yards out at least. And that was beautiful to watch. Joe James with the Barons' first goal of the game and his first point since his 15-point performance in the last outing. John Tedeschi again on the field for the Barons. On the wing for the faceoff. Stranhagen down to take it. Schneider wins it. And now there's a battle with Graham Ball. They're still fighting for it. John Tedeschi makes a play for the ball. And it is still loose. They will call a push, and Muskingum will have possession. Franciscan trying to get their players in. They're still in a man defense. Down 7-1 with just over a minute left in the first quarter. .22 Jodges. He'll get up top. Passes out to Spencer Zucchini. Zucchini gets topside, takes a shot, and that is high. And it doesn't matter anyway. They called interference, and so Franciscan will have possession, starting with Richard Vale from behind the goal. Taking it up now. Richard Vale. Getting it from Jack Nelson. A long pass to Joe James, who sends it just over the goal. And the chase from Nate Carter. And so the Barons have the ball here with just 40 seconds left in the game. Joe James from the right. He'll dodge topside. He'll get open, and he loses the ball. Joe James picks it back up and passes down to X. Nate Carter. Now almost 20 seconds left. Almond dodges down the wing. He'll pass. Gavin Cook with a shot. That'll hit the outside of the net. And it'll be Muskingum ball. Joe James with a nasty check. And Richie will make the save to end the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, Muskingum 7, Barons 1. Stranhagen again taking the face off, and he'll win this one. He'll get the ground ball. Franciscan has a fast break, and Stranhagen will lose it and get it back. Tremendous effort from Joffrey Stranhagen on that series. And now Joe James from the top as he waits for the offense to get settled. And he'll take a dodge down the alley. Joseph Norton now from the top. Now to Nate Carter. He'll swing it, and it comes right back to him. Carter moving up top. He'll dodge top side. Pass to the middle. Norton drops the ball. And Muskingum will retain possession. Trevor Connolly picking it up for the Muskies. Zucchini and Webster moving it behind the goal. And now we have a stoppage. And they'll call an interference and give the ball to Franciscan. Ritchie, a long pass to Gavin Cook. Cook drops it, but will get it back. And so Franciscan will now try to settle into an offense here a minute and a half into the second quarter. Carter down low. The pass is low, and it will be picked up by Muskingum's number 2, Sam Bolin. Now in the hands of Trevor Connolly, the goalie. He'll walk it up. His pass goes awry, and the Barons will have it again. That's number 32, Brendan Lacey, who picked it up. And he'll get it to Joe James. And Franciscan again looks to settle their offense. Carter with the ball. He'll move it down. All the way to X. And he'll sit there. Pass to the wing. He was looking for Joe Norton. And Norton will lose the ball. And that will be Muskingum possession. Zucchini with the ball. He'll pass. Now from the top. Logan Kuhn moves it around. Zucchini down low to Webster. Webster across to Cosgrove. Muskingum swings it up top. The dodge. He beats his man. Passes to the middle, and that pass is dropped. The ball is still loose. And Zucchini will end up with it. Bad pass. That one will get on the ground. The ball is still loose. Muskingum with the ball. And that's a goal. Number 1, Hunter McGuire, his second of the game. Beats Richardville low. And Muskingum now has an 8-1 lead with 11:36 to go in the second quarter. Stranhagen sets a face-off again. This time Reimer and Almond on the wings. Joffrey wins the ball, but then Schneider takes it. It's a fast break for Muskingum. A shot on goal and a score. Webster from X pulled it up and then beats Richardville low again. Franciscan down 9-1. Just seconds after the goal by McGuire. Schneider wins the face-off for the Muskies. And he'll bring it down on the right side. Moving the ball to Zucchini, who waits and eventually moves it back to X. Webster out to Cosgrove. And Cosgrove moves it up top. Franciscan still in a man defense. And Muskingum will get their last pull off. Stranhagen. Franciscan's a man down after that substitution. And the shot is scored. That was a fantastic shot from number 22 on Muskingum. And now 10 goals for the Muskies as they lead Franciscan by 9. Jack Nelson now takes a wing along with Reimer. Stranhagen faces off, wins the face-off, and gets the ground ball. Jack Nelson now moving it across midfield for the Barons, and they'll try to settle here. Moving it across, the pass is dropped, but picked up again, and now that ball will go out of bounds off of a Muskingum defender. And so Joe James will bring it in for the Barons. James on the right side, passes it down. That's Carter at X. He'll move it to Jack Nelson, who moves it up top to Alex Almond. Almond dodges from the logo, will get down to the middle, moves it over to Joe James, who gets topside and takes a shot, and that one will go wide. Jack Nelson with the chase for Franciscan, and they will retain possession. Nelson bringing it in, swings it over to Carter. Carter drops, and Franciscan vacates X. Moving the ball up top, Alex Almond with the ball. He passes to Carter. Carter drops the pass. He has a defender on him, but he'll take the ball and pull it out and settle down. Joe Norton, now from the left wing, passes up top to Joe James. James looks, he will dodge. Has a man. And a goal is scored by Franciscan. The second goal of the game. This one by Gavin Cook. Gavin, the senior out of Syracuse, New York, has his first goal of the game. And such a leader for the Barons team. They definitely need to try to get him involved more if they want to come and have a chance at winning this thing. Strandhagen taking the face-off. Joe James on the wing. And James will get the ground ball and have a fast break for Franciscan. And he will take the shot, and the save is made by Trevor Connolly as he pushes it up and over the goal. Almond now from X. He'll take it up. Looks, passes. He has Gavin Cook on the wing. Gavin takes a dodge and eventually pulls it out. Flags are thrown. Franciscan with flags down, and Gavin takes a wild shot that ends up being saved by Trevor Connolly. Number 5, Austin Stobbs for the Muskies will serve a 1-minute penalty for a slash. And the ball is taken by Joe James on the right wing. He'll move it down. Carter now moving up top, and he'll have a bounce pass to Almond. That pass is low. Joe James moves it back to Carter, who gives it to Almond. Almond going in. He gives it to Nate Carter. Carter, a long pass, and Joseph Norton's shot goes straight up into the air before the ground ball is finally picked up by Trevor Connolly. The Muskies need to clear, but more importantly, they're trying to kill this penalty. What a stick check from number 22, Gavin Cook. He gives it to James. James dodges. He's into the middle. He takes a shot, and that underhanded shot goes left of the goal. Nate Carter with the chase, and so the Barons will keep the ball with still some time left on the man up. Gavin Cook now from the wing. He'll pass it up top. And Muskingum is now at even strength. Joe James moves it up top again. Jack Nelson has been in for the last few reps for the Barons. And that's just a testament to the injuries that have plagued this team for the last few seasons. Now a dodge. Moving the ball to X. Joe James will shoot, and that one is saved by Trevor Connolly. And now a fast break. Chase Kessler takes it all the way for the shot. Richie makes the save. Vale's not been his best today, but he certainly came up big right there for the Barons. And then an errant pass from Joe Norton results in a turnover. Kessler again taking it over midfield for the Muskies. He wants another shot, and he'll pass it off instead. Zucchini to Webster. A shot and a score. Another goal for Muskingum, and they push their lead back up to 9. 11-2 with 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Drew Schneider again coming out to take the face-off for the Muskies. And Strandhagen again coming out for the Barons. Tedeschi comes out for the wing again. This time he's on the near side. Going up against Liam Manning of the Muskies. Fighting for the ground ball now. It is still loose. And eventually it will be picked up by Manning, who brings it down. He'll pass off. Number 9 is a pull. He takes a shot, and that chase by Zucchini will result in a Muskingum possession. Webster taking it from X, and they'll settle while they wait for their 6th man to get in. Here's the dodge from up top. And they'll move it back out to the left wing. Another dodge, and this one will also fail. Move it to X. Webster mishandles the ball and almost steps out of bounds. But he'll keep it for the Muskies. A pass to the middle. A shot that goes wide of the net. And another shot from the middle. Save made by Richard Vale. That was a beautiful save from Richard. And they will reset the shot clock. Muskingum again dodging. Zucchini with a shot, and Richard Vale makes the save for the Barons. Now giving it out to Joe Redmond, looking to clear. Redmond has Sam Smith up the left side, and his pass is over Sam's outstretched stick. The ball is loose, and Gavin Cook will pick it up for the Barons, and so they'll get out of that scrape, fortunately. Joe James now with the ball on the right side. A flag is down. It'll be an offside from Muskingum, and they'll move their 7th defender across as long as that flag is on the field. The Barons have a 6-on-7 right now. Carter dodging. He'll beat his man and pass to Joe James. James to Norton. Jack Nelson. And Nelson now to Norton. Norton dodges from up top. He has a shorty on him. Pass to the middle, and Nate Carter's shot will go wide. And so we should have a penalty coming up now for Muskingum. Number 20, Josh Nowak, is in the penalty area for the Muskies for an offside. The Barons with a man up, and now a timeout called by Coach Pete to talk this over before they go into their man up. Barons coming out of the timeout with a man up, trailing Muskingum 11-2 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Alex Almond, the sophomore from Moscow, Idaho, will start the power play. Joe James from up top, a shot that goes wide left. Almond has the chase, and so the man up continues for the Barons. Gavin Cook, a shot that goes wide left. The Barons have the chase again, this time from Jack Nelson. Almond from behind the goal. He moves it out to Gavin Cook. Gavin, a shot. And that one goes off of a defender. Almond again with the chase. And the Barons retain possession once again. Moving the ball in. Almond looks, and he'll eventually retreat back to X. The Muskies now at full strength. Carter dodges. A bounce pass across the middle. And the refs are going to call it a shot and award the Barons the chase. Almond to the middle. And he missed Joe James, not by much. And a shot clock violation there. As the Muskies bringing the ball up. They have the fast break. Gavin Cook with an excellent play to stop that from being almost a certain shot on goal. And now the refs are stopping the game. The Muskies still have possession. Spencer Zucchini on the right side now moves it back to Webster. Webster across to Cosgrove, who passes it up. Gavin Cook is on defense right now, and the Barons still running in man. The Barons have 2-0 middies in this defensive set. Sam Smith behind the goal. He gets dodged. Webster beats him and takes a crazy shot that goes off of Joseph Norton's foot and eventually ends up in the stick of a Muskingum player. Joe Norton playing some very physical defense, and enough for the refs to throw a flag as he was all over the helmet of Cosgrove. Webster, a shot, and now we'll go out the back. The Muskies have a chase, but we'll stop for the penalty. Nelson coming onto the field for the Barons in this man-down defense. The Barons are running a house right now instead of their traditional box and one. A shot and a goal from number 77, Jack Watts. Muskingum now up 12-2 with just over a minute left in this first half. Stranhagen coming out again to face off. This time he's going up against Liam Cameron. Brendan Lacey on the near wing for Franciscan. Luke Reimer on the far. Joffrey Stranhagen wins the faceoff cleanly and picks up the ball. He'll move it to Joe James on the right wing. And James swings it down to X, and the Barons will settle here on offense. Less than a minute to go now in the first half. The sophomore from Moscow taking it from the top. He'll beat him. He'll beat his man, but the slide is there, and he'll have to move it back to X. The pass is low. Handled by Jack Nelson. Jack dodging. He'll move again. He'll move the ball to the middle. Joseph Norton misses the pass. And Joe James, now from the top, pulls it out. He's looking to dodge. Joe James moves the ball to Carter. Carter gets it to X. Jack Nelson dodges again from X. Carter with the ball. Less than 10 seconds now. Franciscan needs to get a shot off. Carter, and he drops it. And that will bring us to the end of the first half. The score at halftime, Muskingum 12, Franciscan 2.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
What really separates us from other schools is our main focus on God.
We are implementing virtues in our athletes. That's our number one job. It's not to win basketball games or whatever your competition is. It's to grow closer to Christ.
I found the community here to be very authentic, very genuine, and something that I immediately wanted to be a part of.
The program is just getting better and better and better.
We want them to be battle tested in the faith. I mean, it is Christ-centered here.
Welcome back for the second half of the Franciscan University Barons men's lacrosse team as they take on Muskingum. The Muskies up 12-2 at halftime as we get set to start this third quarter. Joffrey Strandhagen and Drew Schneider again getting ready to face off once again. The ball is down. And Schneider will be tripped in his attempt to pick it up. And the refs will give that ball to the Muskies. And they will pull it out and settle down. Cosgrove moves it around on the left side. The Barons still in man defense. John Tedeschi now with a short stick and a shot and a goal in the first minute of the third quarter. Drew Davis, number 91, scores for the Muskies. And Muskingum now up by 11, their largest lead of the night. Liam Cameron coming on to take the face-off, this time for the Muskies. Going up against Strandhagen again. Joffrey will win this one, and he'll pick it up himself. He gets checked from behind, and he'll lose the ball. A good play from Cosgrove. And now the Muskies on the fast break. A shot that goes way high of the goal. And Richie couldn't have stopped that if he wanted to. It'll be brought from behind by Spencer Zucchini. Webster now has it at X. And he'll move it to Zucchini. Jack Watts dodges. His shot goes wide. And a save by Richard Vale off the shot by Travis Gear. Richie has the ball. And Franciscan will now look to clear. He's being attacked by Webster, who is relentlessly. And there it is. A flag will be thrown. Richie heaves the ball. The goalie's out of the net. And he will secure it. Joe James had a chance at a great play with the goalie fully leaving the net to go and track that ball down. But it'll be a settled man up for Franciscan. And we'll wait to see what the ref calls. Number 25 Grant Webster called for the cross check, and he'll be in the box for 1 minute. So the Barons have 1 minute of man up. And Joe James will take it from the top. Gavin Cook on the wing. He'll move it up top. And Joe James, once again, has the ball. They continue to move the ball. Almond with a skip pass. Joe James now at the top again. Carter moving down, but he will not shoot. He'll pull it out. Back up to Gavin Cook. Gavin across. Joe James gives it to Gavin. Gavin winds up, and his shot goes wide, and the Muskingum goalie will have the chase. Number 99, Jeremy Hollow, now in goal for the Muskies. Kessler taking it up. He fakes a pass over Joe James and takes it all the way down. He's looking, and a flag is down. 2 flags are down. The Barons were offside, and that'll be number 9, Almond from Idaho, who will now be sent to the box for what should be a 30-second penalty. The Muskies still have some time left from Webster's penalty, so it'll be 5-on-5 here with the Muskies in possession of the ball. Zucchini with the ball up top for Muskingum, and he'll move it across to Watts. Franciscan now pressing out in a man. Number 19 dodges on Brendan Lacey, and he'll move the ball. Zucchini down the middle. He passes Watts. His shot goes wide, and that'll go out of bounds. The Muskies will keep possession, and now they're at full strength. With Alex Almond still on the box, this means that they will be man up for a few seconds before the midi is released. Watts moves the ball one more time. A shot and a fantastic save from Richard Vale as the Barons return to full strength and move back into their man. Ball down to Webster. Webster's kept behind X, and then move it up top to Jack Watts. Watts moves it across, and now it's down on the wing. A behind-the-back pass that is dropped by Drew Davis, and he will pick it up and dodge down the middle. He'll have a shot and score. It appears as though the referees have waved off the goal. They're called a moving pick on Muskingum. And so the Barons will now get to clear. Jack Nelson, a nice move. He's looking at midfield. And he is across. A good clear for the Barons. Joe James settles it down. And the Barons will move their offense into position and try to put up a goal. 4 minutes into this first quarter of the second half. Joe James on the right wing. He'll dodge low. He'll beat his man. He gets into the middle. And Joe James is met by 4 defensemen. And his shot will go out of bounds and be picked up by the Barons. Almond moves it to Carter. Carter dodging from X. He'll bring it out and move it up top to James. James has Jack Nelson. Nelson trying to dodge. James now with the ball. And he'll move it down to Gavin Cook. Gavin, the senior, trying to find an opening. And that is relentless defense from Anderson. A shot goes off the post, and it'll be picked up by Chase Kessler, who has been phenomenal for the Muskies this evening. Hollow bringing it up, and the Muskies will clear it. Moving down into an offense, and the Barons still sticking to their man. The defense appears to be looking a lot better in the second half, and it looks to me that the offense of the Barons is still the weakest point. A turnover. They'll bring it across. It's Alex Almond. There's no one around him. He'll wind up. A pass, and that is a fantastic play from Alex Almond, finding Nate Carter on the doorstep to score the Barons' third goal of the game. Now down 13-3 with 9:35 left in the third quarter. A beautiful pass from Almond. He had all the room in the world and decided to not take the shot and instead give it to Nate Carter, who was ready and waiting. Strandhagen to take the face off. This time, the ball's still loose. And that should be a push against the Barons. But they'll call it against Muskingum, and so Franciscan will get possession of the ball. And they'll get to take it up now. Joe James with the ball on the right side of the field. He'll move it down to Carter, and Carter will carry it over to X. Alex Almond now from the top. He pulls it out. He dodges on the pole. He beats his man. He gets to the middle, moves it to X to Carter, and Carter gives it to Gavin Cook. A pass to the middle intended for Joe Norton goes all the way through, and Jack Nelson will settle it for the Barons. Nelson a shot, and that goes wide. And the chase is by Muskingum, but a flag. And Norton is down. It looked like a slash to the back of the leg. And it was actually Jack Nelson who was on the ground. And so Nelson will now walk off. And a 1-minute penalty against Muskingum. The Barons will be on the man up for 60 seconds. Jack Nelson walks off the field, and the Barons will start their man up with Nate Carter. James moves it across. Almond down low. He takes a shot and scores. A fantastic move from Alex Almond, seeing that no one was guarding him, and he slipped in and took the shot, and he will score a man-up goal for the Barons. Now down only by 9 with 8:23 to go in the third quarter. Joe Norton on the near wing. Luke Reimer on the far wing. Joffrey Strandhagen to take the faceoff. And the refs will have a procedural whistle here and give the ball to Muskingum. Franciscan pulling. And the refs have changed and now giving possession to Franciscan. The Barons moving up. Joe James with the ball, and he'll move it down to Nate Carter. Alex Almond, absolutely breaking ankles out there. He'll move it across, and his pass will get knocked down by Liam Manning. And Manning, still carrying it, will look to get it cleared, and he finds the pole across the field. Cosgrove now bringing it down, and the Muskies will settle it. Webster and Zucchini passing back and forth behind the goal, and now Cosgrove on the wing. Muskingum will pull out their pole and get all their offensive personnel set. Cosgrove gives it across the middle to Josh Nowak. And Nowak brings it up for the Muskies. He dodges, holds, and then keeps dodging. He had the middle, and he'll take the middle again. A shot. Save made by Richard Vale. Webster with the chase, and he'll bring it in for the Muskies. Nowak up top. He'll move it across. Joe Norton defending. Jack Nelson is back on the field for the Barons, and that is good to see. A pass to the middle, and a bounce shot that goes over, and the chase from the Barons. And so Richard Vale takes it from Joe Redmond. Jack Nelson, who was down on the field, now has the ball and is looking to clear. He will get it to Joe Norton, and Norton carries it across for a successful clear. A flag is down, and the shot goes wide. Barons have the chase, but there should be a penalty on Muskingum coming up. The Barons now on the man up. Carter from the top. Moves it down to Cook. Cook to Carter. Back to Cook. Carter again with the ball. This time he'll pass to James, who drops the pass and eventually picks it up. Dodges in. Carter, a shot! And that one goes high. And the Barons will have the chase. And we'll start again from X. Bringing it in. He has Cook. Cook drops the ball. It looked like he was about to take a shot. Joe James with the ball. And now the Muskies get their man back. They're even, but a goal. That was an absolute stinger from Gavin Cook. His second of the game. And now the Barons trail 13-5 with 5:29 left in the third quarter. An absolute stinger from Gavin Cook. The Barons showing signs of life here late in the third. Strandhagen taking the face-off. The ball is still loose and will eventually be picked up by number 8 and knocked out again. Strandhagen, a fantastic effort. The ball is still down. Luke Reimer picks it up, and it will go back, and Nate Carter will get the ground ball, and the Barons will be able to settle here on offense. A fantastic effort from everyone on that faceoff squad for the Barons, and it will result in their possession. Allman pulls it out at midfield. He's going up against Liam Manning, the shorty. Allman looks, beats him topside, takes it down in the middle, passes out. He has Jack Nelson. Nelson gives it to Carter, and Joe James ends up with it on the wing. James dodges. He gets hit in the head, has a shot, and that one is saved by the goalie, Jeremy Hollow. A weak pass, and that one's going to trickle through. A loose ball push called against the Barons. Muskingum with the ball. It's a 2-on-1. Cosgrove doesn't make a move, and the Barons get away with one there. Cosgrove had Webster down low, and they were both being split by Sam Smith. Sam Smith waited long enough from Raleigh to get there, and the Barons get away with it. Cosgrove now moving it up top. He looks. He fires. A shot! And that's Spencer Zucchini. A goal from the right wing. An absolute stinger, and that will raise the Muskies' lead by one more. 14-5 now with 3:57 left in the third quarter. Joffrey Strandhagen to take the face-off. Brendan Lacey on the wing. They'll call a loose ball push, I believe, on Muskingum, and the Barons will get possession. Lacey taking it down. He'll get it to Joe James. And Joe James moves it to the middle. Alex Allman wearing the number 9 that used to be worn by Dan Clayton. Now Nate Carter from the back. And he'll dodge. He'll dodge. He'll get all the way to the middle. And he'll be met by a sea of defenders. And he will lose the ball. An absolute scrum out there as the ball is still loose. Joe Norton with a nice play. Kicking it around. It's picked up by Joe James. And the refs will award possession to Muskingum. Cosgrove gets it to Webster. Webster makes a move, and he will get stuck behind the goal. Sam Smith with a nice bit of defending there. Oh my goodness. That was possibly the ugliest goal I've seen in my life. Number 32, Kai Hunt for the Muskies, had the ball in his stick and powered through 2 Franciscan defenders to put it into the back of the net. And the Muskies once again lead by double digits, 15-5 with 2:49 left in the third quarter. Strandhagen and Drew Schneider once again facing off. Strenhagen with a win. They got a fast break for Franciscan, and he will pull it out. A bad pass to Gavin Cook. Cook will pick it up and eventually get it out to Alman. Alman dodges into the middle and gets a shot off on goal that will go just wide. Nate Carter ends up with the ball, and he'll bring it in from X. The Muskies late bringing in a sub. On the Barons, now with Joe James. James gets topside and eventually pulls it out. He'll try again and takes a shot, and that one goes wide. Nate Carter once again for the Barons from behind X. The Barons trail the Muskies by 10 with 17 minutes to play in this game. Jack Nelson pulls it out. He's on the logo, and he'll dodge from the logo down the alley before passing it off to Nate Carter. Carter up top. It's Joe James. The freshman has been very quiet tonight after his 15-point performance of last week. And Carter will settle it down for the Barons with just a minute and a half left here in the third quarter. Carter dodges. He gets around. He passes. Gavin Cook with the ball. He turns and shoots, and Jeremy Hollow with a nice save. And that'll be a loose ball push against Muskingum. And so Gavin Cook will take it again for the Barons. Carter from X gets it back to Cook. Cook up top to Nelson. Nelson now to James. James dodges down the alley. He's open. He takes a shot, and that one is off the pipe. So the shot clock will reset for the Barons. And Gavin Cook will take it in with a fresh 60 seconds to go. 60 seconds on the shot clock, 62 seconds left in the third quarter. Alman now from the top. He dodges down the alley, and step for step with him there is Manning. Joe James dodging now. He'll take a shot, and that one is low. I think they're going to count that as a save for Jeremy Hollow, as Alman will take it now from X. Carter from X. Now up top to Nelson. Nelson moves it to Alman on the right wing. Alman dodges against Manning. And that pass from Alman is a little low. Joe James pulls out for it. A turning shot from Joe James. And on the run, he scores. Joe James with an incredible goal. Moving across, and then across his body, shooting and scoring. The Barons now have 6 goals and trail Muskingum 15-6. Joffrey taking the faceoff once again. And he'll win it outright. He passes it down. And with time running out on this quarter, the Barons might not have a chance to do anything. And time will, in fact, expire and bring us to the end of the third quarter. Muskies 15, Barons 6 after 3. Welcome to the start of the fourth quarter. Barons and Muskies, 15 more minutes. The Barons trail by 9. Strandhagen to take the faceoff. The ball will be loose, but it will be picked up by the Muskies, and they will take it up and clear it. Muskies now moving. A shot! Oh my goodness, Anderson. A step down shot, and he will score from about 12 yards out on Richard Vale. The Muskies lead is back up to 10, just 19 seconds into the fourth quarter. Except for a few spectacular moments from Cook and James, the Barons' offense has been all but subdued tonight. The Muskies win the faceoff. And then a careless pass, and the ball will be loose. Picked up by Joe James. The Barons with a fast break. James, a shot and a goal. A beautiful underhanded goal from Joe James. He scores from the right wing and evens it up in the fourth quarter. The Barons now down only by 10. Joffrey has had a tough night at face-off, but he's been fighting the whole time and been absolutely resilient in his effort. And he'll win that one. A very nice face-off from Strandhagen, but not a great pass. And Joe James will just get the ball and move it to Carter at X. The Barons moving the ball. They will settle at the top. Alex Amon holding it for the Barons. And he will get thrown to the ground. A flag will be... And there are 2 flags down now, both of them against the Muskies. And we'll see if they call these on the same player, or if we'll have one extended man up for the Barons. The Muskies will have 1 player in the box with 2 penalties. So the Barons will have an extended man-up opportunity here to try and get back 1 or 2 of those goals. Allman down to Cook. Cook moving the ball. Allman taking it from the top. The Muskies are pressing out here on their man down as they're set up in a star defense formation. A shot and a score. It's the rookie, Joe James, again, and he continues to rack up points for the Barons. Brendan Lacey coming onto the near wing for the Barons. Reimer still on the far wing. Strandhagen takes the face-off. He fights over it, and he will very well play that ball. He'll get it to Reimer, and Reimer will move it across all the way to Joe James. Joe James handles it And we'll move it back to X. Alex Almond keeps it up top and dodges. He tries to pass to the middle, and that one will be turned over. Jeremy Hollow now taking it for the Muskies. A nice lob pass over the head of his pole, who will finally settle and get the ground ball. Spencer Zucchini now passes it off to Webster. The Muskies move it up top, looking to dodge down. Cosgrove on the wing for the Muskies, and he'll pass it down to X. Webster holding it at X. He'll move it across to Zucchini. The Barons' defense is clustered in the middle, playing very tight and staying close to the middle. Webster dodging. A pass to the middle, and that one broken up by Sam Smith and John Tedeschi, and it'll cross midfield. Joe James picks it up, and he is running with it. Moving it down to Gavin Cook. Gavin pulling it out, moving back up to the top. He dodges down the middle. Gavin drops the ball. Alex Almond is there for the Barons. And Coach Pete Rozowski calls a timeout. On the right wing for the Barons. He swings it down to Carter. And now over to the left wing, Jack Nelson. Passes back to X. Carter now out to the right wing. It's Joe James. James dodges. And a crazy pass. Almond can't handle it. And Muskingum now crosses over midfield. The ball is still loose. And it'll be picked up by the Muskies. Dodging down. A shot that bounces over the goal. And Muskingum will have the chase and the possession here with 10:56 left in the fourth quarter. Jack Watts gets it to Spencer. And Spencer Zucchini moving it down to Cosgrove. Now on the wing. Watts again with the ball. Watts moves to the middle. Watts! And he is stripped. And that's Joe Redmond who ends up with the ground ball. And he gives it to Joe Norton. Norton with a shot. And that one is saved and held by Jeremy Hollow. A nice check from Joe James, but there's no one there to take the ball. James could have followed him over, but stayed onside. Zucchini now to X. Sam Smith gets beat behind the goal. A turn-in shot is saved by Rich Vale. And Vale with a long pass looking for Joe James. He has him. James turns, passes to X. It's Nate Carter. Carter gets it out to Gavin Cook. Gavin makes a move. but eventually stays out on the wing. He'll keep it, and he'll pull it out. Gavin taking a step back. He'll get it to Joe James on the outside. James looking to dodge. He will. Moving across the top. James moving down. He gets it to Joe Norton. Norton out to Cook. Cook, a shot that goes wide. And Jack Nelson will take it in for the Barons. Nate Carter looking. He passes to Jack Nelson. Nelson has Norton up top, and Norton will pull it out farther before getting it to Joe James on the right wing. James dodges down the alley, moves to the upside, a spinning shot, and that is saved by Hollow. And Hollow with a nice pop pass right in front of his pole. And he drops it. Chase Kessler dropped the ball as he was running to the middle of the field. And now he'll have to vacate for an offensive midi to come on. Eight minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The Muskies lead the Barons 17-8. Josh Nowak with the ball now on the left wing. And a timeout is now called by the Muskies head coach. Coming out of the timeout, Muskingum with the ball. Spencer Zucchini, his pass is over the head of Crossgrove, and he can't get his stick up high enough to get it. Sam Smith taking it in for the Barons, and the Barons will now try to clear. Richvale now with the ball. Richie takes it across midfield himself, and he's going straight to the goal. Richie, a pass. Aubin drops it but takes it back, and he will pull it out so that the Barons can get settled on offense. Just over 7 minutes to go in the game. Jack Nelson now moving outside. He'll take it for the Barons. Nelson dodges from up top. He'll go down the alley. He moves it down to Nate Carter. Carter's pass gets picked off And the Muskingum Poles will move it up. Chase Kessler, a pass that goes off the stick of number 14. And Webster will end up with it behind the goal for Muskingum. Now Spencer Zucchini behind the net. He dodges, pulls it out, and gets it to number 91. Drew Davis moves it down to Zucchini, and then across to Webster. Webster puts it back to Zucchini. Cosgrove moves it up. Dylan Cowdle from the top. He'll dodge. He has top side. He'll get to the middle. He'll take a shot and he scores. The Muskies score again. Low on Richard Vale, and it's 18-8. The Muskies lead with 5:31 left in the fourth quarter. Caudle beat two defenders. One down the alley and then one over the top to get his hands free to take the shot. And it's Vale's 18th goal allowed in this game. Strandhagen takes the face off. Drew Schneider ends up with it. A pass to the middle to the pole. The pole gets a shot off, and it will bounce high, and it will not be anywhere close to the goal. The Muskies with possession. As they settle and get their offense back in. Jack Watts now from up top, the big man. He looks, and he passes it off to Spencer Zucchini. Back to X now with Webster. Franciscan's defense is certainly getting a lot of reps tonight. Reimer, Redmond, and Moralia all in for the Barons, and that is the big man, Jack Watts. Another goal for Muskingum, and their lead is up to 11 for the first time since half. Drew Schneider wins the faceoff, and he is taking it all the way. He gets it down. Webster will pull it out and get it to Zucchini, and they'll settle down again. Schneider still in with his faceoff stick, and he'll finally get out. Joffrey Strandhagen going to the box to try to sub for Franciscan. Franciscan late getting the sub in. An underhand shot that goes just wide of the goal. And the Muskies will have the chase, brought in by number 91, Drew Davis. Now 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Zucchini moves it up top. They'll settle it. And now a dodge to the middle. A pass up top. It's Cosgrove, and he'll move it again. That's Drew Davis. Now Zucchini. Webster at X. Cosgrove again here on the left. He'll dodge, and then he'll pull it out. Looking for Zucchini. He has him. Zucchini passes back to X. Webster moves it around. Webster looking. Webster turns and shoots a low-angle shot that Rich Vale saves. Cosgrove, another shot, and that one goes wide, and Richard Vale will fight for that ground ball, and he will get it. Rich Vale looks. He has Jack Nelson wide open in the middle of the field, and he'll take it over himself. Rich waits and then passes it off to Alex Amon. Brandon Lacey comes off. And a turnover here. The Muskies, again, Gavin Cook grabs the loose ball. He shoots, and that one rung the pipe. But no chase for the Barons, and the Muskies will take over. Sam Bolin clears it for the Muskies. A shot. And that one blocked by Richie. Another shot, and that one Zucchini buries right past Richie. There was no slide there. And Vale is visibly irritated at the defense for that play. Muskingum now up 20-8 with 2:21 left in the fourth quarter. The Barons' offense has been very quiet for the last 15 minutes. Jack Nelson now taking the wing. I'm sorry, that's Brendan Lacey on the near side taking the wing. Reimer up top for the Barons. Stranhagen can't pick it up. Eventually he does, and then it's knocked out of him by Chase Kessler, who's been an absolute dog tonight on ground balls. And possession is given to the Muskies. Kessler over the middle. And now the Muskies move it up. Zucchini with the ball. He'll pass it now to Drew Davis. Davis down to Webster. A dodge to the middle. And now pass out to Zucchini. Zucchini dodges up top. He has Cosgrove. Cosgrove tries and loses the ball. And it looks like he'll get it back. It's on the ground. Joe Redmond picks it up for the Barons. And a wild pass that is picked up by Joe James. They'll get it all the way down. James loses the ball. And James now, with two defenders on him, loses possession. And he will trip the Muskingum player, and now the flags fly, and there will be penalties on two different Barons. We'll see how long they give him, but we'll have two penalties on two different Barons. And so Muskingum will be 2 men up for at least 30 seconds here. The referee is still discussing. 3 flags have been thrown. And now we'll get a call. looks like they called both penalties on Joe James. And so James should be in the box for 2 minutes. The Barons in a diamond, now 2 men down. Zucchini across, and that one will go wide. So it looks like they called penalties on 2 Barons and 1 Muskie. And it's 5-on-4 right now for the Muskies, with 40 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Zucchini down. Webster doesn't shoot. Zucchini up top. Watts with the ball. They'll keep passing it. Zucchini. Down to Drew Davis. Davis looks. Zucchini again. Now up top. Now it's on the side. Watts. And they're just going to pass this clock out. A shot and save by Rich Vale. But that'll be it. The final score, Muskingum 20, Franciscan 8. The Barons lose. The Barons are now 2-1 on the season. And play Akron next at home.